Something in this video is a load of gack. Are you clever enough to guess it? Gary Gackson reads everything. He's a voice clone. He goes a bit Jedi sometimes. Anyway, which one's Gackson? Throw your answer in the comments. Let's go. Story 1. The Hostel Bog. So this lad's staying at a youth hostel. It's peak season. Massive festival on. Place absolutely rammed with travellers from every corner of the world. Backpacks everywhere. Dodgy accents in every corridor. Queues for a brew every morning. You know the type of place. On the last morning before checkout, he uses the shared bog, and somehow he's got absolutely no idea how it's happened. It's just blocked. No explanation. No dramatic backstory. Just a blocked bog. Fair enough, these things happen. So he tries to unblock it, gets some paper towels, has a little go, doing his bit like any decent lad would do, which is where things take a turn nobody could have predicted. His unblocking efforts somehow made a pressure situation in the pipes that caused liquid shit to start coming up through the shower drain in the next cubicle. Not dripping, not trickling, pushing up through the drain like forbidden brown Play-Doh. Actual liquid sewage bubbling up out the shower floor of a shared hostel bog during the busiest week of the year. A hostel full of strangers who are all going to need that shower before they leave to go home. He stares at it for a second, processes what he's looking at. Then he does what any normal lad would do in this situation. He gets the fuck out of there, fast as he can. On his way out, another traveller sees him coming out the bog. This lad keeps walking, head down, saying nothing. A minute later he passes him again in the corridor, and the fella, in a proper thick foreign accent, just says, "Fuck, it smells horrible in there." He goes straight to his mate's room, doesn't explain a thing, doesn't say a word, just says, "We need to leave, right now." They were out of that place faster than you could say there's a shit in the shower. He never looked back. The shower drain's probably still going. Story 2, the phantom shitter. Right, so this restaurant, closing time, one of the lads has got to clean the bogs. Standard enough, part of the job, nobody's favourite task, but someone's got to do it. You sign up for hospitality. This is what it looks like at 11:30 on a Friday night. Earlier that evening, a sweet old couple had come in for their dinner. Lovely, proper sweet. Halfway through the meal, the old fella excuses himself to the bog, doesn't come back. 5 minutes pass, 10 minutes, quarter of an hour gone. An hour later his missus has got to actually go into the men's bogs herself to retrieve him. Should have been the first warning sign. Fast forward to closing time. This lad heads in and is straight away hit with something that can only be described as a full biological incident. Bog blocked to the absolute brim, bin overflowing with paper towels, all of them covered in shit. Shit on the floor, smell so bad you could taste it from the dining room. His workmate Dan, absolute hero, bless him, takes one for the team. Unblocks the bog, wipes the floor, bleaches the walls, proper legend. Our lad gets the bin, pulls out the bag, and there, sitting quietly at the very bottom of the bin, underneath the bag, is a single, solitary, rogue turd. Just sitting there, minding its own business. How it got there, nobody knows. Nobody wants to know. The physics of it don't bear thinking about. The bog reeked for days. Smell drifting into the dining room while people were trying to eat. The cook gave him a name though. The phantom shitter. And somewhere out there that sweet old fella has absolutely no idea he's achieved legendary status in a restaurant he'll never visit again. Story 3. The Egypt elephant. So this fella's working out in Egypt, second stint out there, and he's picked up a dreadful case of the runs. Blames a French restaurant in the old Cataract Hotel, which is already one of the more confusing sentences you'll ever hear in your life. Egypt, French restaurant, dodgy guts. Right. He's bouncing between sites, ends up back in Cairo, and gets the sudden urge mid-afternoon in the office. Rushes to the bogs. Now these are a massive building. Urinals one side, cubicles the other. 30 degrees outside. Busy bogs. Smells absolutely catastrophic before he's even gone anywhere near him. He rushes into a cubicle and basically, the world drops out of his arse. Which would be fine, except it won't stop. And it's very, very noisy. Which makes him laugh. Out loud. Then he realizes he's not alone. There are at least 5 fellas in the other cubicles, snoring, fast asleep. Turns out this is where the workers, who kept disappearing every afternoon, have been going for a kip. In 30-degree heat, in bogs that smelled like the inside of a volcano, every single day. So now he's got the proper giggles, desperately trying to not wake the sleepers. Decides to bite the inside of his elbow to stop laughing. The bending forward makes everything worse. His bowels completely give up. The laughter completely gives up. He's just given up entirely. To the torrent of liquid, enormous dirty wet farts and hysterical laughter in 30-degree heat, in a Cairo bog full of sleeping workers. Said it sounded like someone trying to drown an elephant. He was in there 45 minutes. God knows what the sleepers thought. Story 4. The charity bag. So this fella gets one of them charity clothes bags through the door. You know the ones. White bag. Stick your old clobber in. Leave it out front. They collect it. Simple enough. He bins the white bag. Never uses them. Few weeks later he goes on holiday for a week. Leaves a family member in charge of the dogs. Gets back to the garden and it's an absolute state. Piles of dog shit everywhere. Proper piles. Dogs had been living their best life all week, with zero supervision and apparently zero interest in using one corner of the garden like normal dogs do. So he gets a black bin bag and starts scooping. Half fills the bag. It's absolutely raining outside. Proper pouring down. So rather than walk all the way around the back, he just dumps the bag outside the front door. Temporarily, like, he'll saw it in a bit. Goes inside, gets dried off, has a brew, watches a bit of telly, forgets about it entirely, comes back later, bag's gone. He stares at the spot where it was, looks up the street, looks down the street, nothing, just an empty patch of wet pavement where a bag full of dog shit used to be. Then it hits him. Charity clothes people had only come on collection day and took his black bin bag full of dog shit. Somewhere out there, a charity worker opened that bag expecting old jumpers and jeans. What they got was a week's worth of dog shite. He never did find out what happened next, probably for the best. Story 5. The office criminal. So this lad's late for work, rushing around, not paying attention, flies out the door, gets to the office, legs it in, does the rounds, greets everyone at their desks like the sociable professional he is, grabs a coffee, sits down. Then he hears it, murmuring. Someone saying something stinks. Then the announcement nobody wants to hear. Check your shoes. Someone stood in dog shit. He looks down. It's him. It was always him. Now here's where he gets lucky. He'd greeted absolutely everyone on the way in. The trail of destruction isn't a neat path to his desk. It's chaos, shoe prints everywhere, could be anyone. He panics, legs it to his bag, swaps his work shoes for gym trainers, sits back down, spends the rest of the day in a suit and trainers looking like an absolute weapon. End of the day. His manager walks over, leans down. Quiet voice. I know it was you. His heart stops. What? How? The manager just looks at him, points under his desk. There, right underneath where he'd been sitting all day. A massive brown patch on the fresh carpet. He'd been sat in it, smudging the initial pile all over the floor. All day, the smell never went away because he was sitting on top of the sauce. Manager just walks off, never mentions it again. But they both know. And that lad still thinks about it years later. wondering if that carpet ever really came clean. Story 6. The wine rack. So they've got a built-in wine rack in the kitchen cupboard, standard enough. One evening, he hears scrambling and whining from the kitchen, goes in to investigate and finds their spaniel with its head completely stuck in the wine rack. Not just stuck, actively choking itself trying to pull free. Now this wasn't just his dog either. Him and his missus had been working on that dog together for months. Training her, walking her, building her up. She was as much his missus's dog as his. Absolute pandemonium straight away. His missus is screaming trying to stop the dog choking itself. He's panicking trying to find a saw. Finds one. Starts sawing completely the wrong part of the wine rack. Realizes. Gets to the right bit and goes at it properly. His missus watching from the corner. Dog still whining. Him sawing like his life depends on it. The dog, presumably sensing freedom approaching, or just absolutely terrified, shat itself, copiously, enthusiastically, all over the floor, all over both of them. He slips in it, yanks backwards, snaps the wine rack clean off. Dog is free. He's on the floor covered in dog shit. His missus is on the floor covered in dog shit. Both of them lying there catching their breath. The dog looks at them both, looks at the wine rack, sticks her head straight back in, grabs the M&M she'd been after the whole time, and runs off. Left them both lying on the kitchen floor crying and covered in shit while she ate her M&M in the other room without a care in the world. He fixed the wine rack. She did it again a month later. They got rid of the wine rack. Story 7. Shitting himself. So this lad's not having a great day. He works evenings, tries to get up early to enjoy the sun. Beautiful weather. Gets up, eats breakfast, goes for his daily run. Before every run, he hits the bog, so he doesn't have to run home mid-run. Stomach felt good. Nothing out the ordinary. He's got about 4 kilometers left of his usual path when the pressure starts. He reckons he can make it. He takes a shortcut home. It gets worse. He's prairie dogging it. Thinks about doing it in the woods, but there's no bog roll. Needs a piss too. Goes behind a bush but can't go. Would need to do both at once. He's a kilometer from home. Needs to run quicker. But the quicker he runs, the closer the turd gets to freedom. He has to walk sometimes just to hold it in. He sees his door 100 meters away. Wants to hold his arsehole shut, but there's people about. So he runs. 5 meters from his door. Too late. He's defeated. First piece gets out, the rest follows. Walks up to his flat feeling like a baby in a dirty nappy. Luckily no neighbours. Gets to the bog, needs a new bathroom rug now. Cleans up. Wonders where it all went wrong. What did he eat yesterday? Decides to finish his run anyway. Runs 1 kilometer. Then his stomach says, but wait, there's more. Has to run home again and take a proper shit. 10 minutes after, he'd already crapped himself. He ran home, finished his run, and wouldn't let a little poop ruin his exercise. Later on, a bird shat on his laptop, turning out to be a real shitty day. Story 8. Shitty interview. This kid's got an interview at a big supermarket. Turns up at 8 in the morning. Everything going perfect, which never happens. Only waits 15 minutes before getting called into the manager's office. Answers 5 or 6 questions, everything sound. Then he feels a strange cramp in his lower stomach. Manager leaves to get another manager for the second interview. That's when he realizes he skipped the morning shit. Woke up, brushed his teeth, got dressed, out the door. No bog stop. Second interview starts. The cramp gets worse. He coughs and feels a small rush of warm air escape his arse cheeks. Waits a minute, hoping it doesn't smell too bad. It does. Thankfully the manager doesn't notice. Starts cracking jokes. One too many. He's trying to focus on the interview and not the massive pile of shite trying to escape his arsehole. He laughs. Each laugh makes his stomach squeeze. Slowly, the shit starts coming out. 5 minutes later, it's halfway out. He can feel warm shite instead of the cushion he was sitting on. The manager finally smells it, asks what that smell is. He tells him straight. He's shit himself and probably needs to find a job elsewhere. He stands up. The smothered shit runs down his legs. His khaki trousers are solid brown on the back. As he's leaving, the manager bursts out laughing. "Holy shit, son, I thought you were kidding." He's walking out the door and he is the manager on the tannoy. All assistant managers report to the main office. He goes home, makes his girlfriend spray him off with the garden hose. Story 9. The bag of crisp. So this fella's laying in bed, fully immersed in a game on his laptop. Bedside table's got a lamp, his phone, a full can of drink, and a bag of crisps. Lamp's plugged into a 4-point extension lead he uses for charging everything. Phone rings. He's deep in the game, reaches over without looking, knocks the fucking lamp over, which knocks everything else over. The can of drink goes on a suicide run down the side of the bed. Much swearing. Picks up the phone, picks up the lamp. Then it dawns on him. Coca-Cola and electricity probably don't mix. He reaches down to pull the lead out. Common sense, gone. Grabs down the side of the bed, pulling at plugs dripping with sugary soda. 3 or 4 seconds later, the most intense stinging pain he's ever felt shoots through his hand, jerks back as the plug pops and starts smelling of burnt plastic and fingertips. Between the thoughts of, "I'm still alive and hope my laptop charger's alright," a strange gurgling sound comes from the depths of his stomach. Human race evolved for fight or flight. When faced with a massive scare, it's well known for dropping its baggage at the first opportunity. He's laying there in his nice, comfortable bed. Body decides this is the perfect moment to let rip with a stream of hot, mushy diarrhea. He struggles to his feet, feels it emerging like a beast from a pit. Makes it to his knees. No way he's getting to the bog in time. Grabs the bag of crisps and slams it against his erupting arsehole. Bag's far too small. The gush of shit overwhelms it like a flood. Pillowcase, delicate cream and blue, joins the crisp packet, won't hold long, but stems the flow just enough. He runs to the bathroom with the speed of the Flash. If the Flash was covered in his own shite, throws himself towards the toilet at the speed of light. Half an hour later he comes back, in shock, no longer spraying shit like a burst sewer pipe. Checks the damage, shit on the bed, down his legs, up his arms, across the floor, more areas of his bedroom covered in his own shit than he ever thought possible. Begins the long, slow, disgusting job of cleaning up. And the phone call was just a marketing call. Fuck his life. Story 10. The squat potty. So this fella's got IBS, which means new foods. Stomach goes mental. His Chinese partner Viv always reminds him to go before they leave the hotel, because public toilets in China are squat ones, not Western. They go out with some friends to a small private restaurant. Spicy, greasy, meaty, proper delicious. Near the end, his stomach drops like a roller coaster. Gonna blow. Races off to the bog. Realizes it's a squat potty. Takes his pants and shirt off. Leaves his shoes on. Don't ask how. Gets into position. Squats as best he can. Takes a massive dinosaur dump. Jurassic Park style. Then he slips. Loses his footing. Lands in his own shit. It's everywhere. Hair, hands, legs, balls, the lot. Now he's covered in his own gack, smelling like a sewer. Almost runs out the bathroom naked before realizing his clothes are off. Walks out the stall. Waiter walks in. Screams. Viv, bless her, runs in. Sees the situation. Explains to the manager. Gets him new clothes. Some soap. Washes him down in the bathroom. Turns out some of them have removable shower heads. Walks out fresh as a daisy. Gets back to the table. Her friends are absolutely creasing. Owner comps the meal. Says it's the funniest thing he's ever seen. Not long after he proposes to Viv. Uses the line, "You put up with my shit, so you can handle me at my worst." She said yes. Think you've got the Gack? Throw your answer in the comments now. Let's see if you're clever or thick as pig shit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you get it right? Or did Gary win? Hit subscribe and play again on the next one, you little Gackstein.